and that's not what I'm referring to. The exception to athletes and cool people is if they're in a movie or the movie's about them. While doing the research for this show, I also found out that the Academy is also trying to broaden its horizons and diversify the members of the Academy. Kendrick Lamar has been invited to join the Academy, and that also comes off like a very out-of-touch, very old Academy trying to appeal to the cool people. If we get that rapper to join the Academy, more young people will follow us, and more young people will tune into the Oscars every year. I mean, yeah, great for Kendrick Lamar if he does join the Academy, but I'm not sure it's going to broaden your audience anymore. The other really annoying thing about the Oscars, that if they cut a lot of this out would save time, but would also maybe refocus the Academy Awards, is the focus on fashion and who or what people are wearing. The fashion aspect of the Oscars seems to have become more important in some regards than the actual categories that are nominated. The technical categories get pissed on more and more every year, and it seems there's just more focus on the glitz and the glamour. Look at all the pretty celebrities in the front rows. Look at what and who they're wearing. There seems to be more attention paid to the fashion of, someone's wife or an actor or an actress than there is about the sound, the editing, or the production design. The old format and the way of doing things doesn't really seem to work anymore, but the Academy won't or can't see this for whatever reason. They keep trying to modernize the Oscars, and they just keep losing viewers. And obviously this probably comes as no surprise that, the movie stars get all the attention in the Oscars. I get it. They're the glamorous ones. They're the ones that are recognizable from the characters they've played in movies. They're the recognizable faces. No one cares about the editor or the sound engineer or what they look like. But they should care what these people look like and who they are, because they are literally making the movies. There needs to be an important placed on who these people are and getting their image or their profession out there. It shouldn't all be about the Will Smiths, the Brad Pitts, the Bradley Coopers, the Leonardo DiCaprio. It should also be about the man or woman that edited that film or designed the production, designed the costumes, did the sound or whatever. The other annoying and very irrelevant part of the Oscars is the over-the-top nature of it. Everything in the Oscars is just over the top. It's just done to the max. There's just this over-the-top focus on glitz and glamour. They roll out the red carpet. I mean, these people, they have a pretty extraordinary job. A lot of them are celebrities, but maybe they should just walk on the pavement. Like they're not royalty, and I'm very against royalty anyway. I have strong opinions on royalty. I think it's a very old way of thinking, and it is pretty irrelevant in the modern world. Everything at the Oscars is just so over the top and so very wasteful, and we're living in a world now where you have to be mindful of waste. You can't do things the way we have been doing things because it's not good for the planet, it's not good for human beings, and it's not really working out. I'd like to see more of a focus put on charity, helping others, either through pathways to actually get into the film industry or how to get a film made or viewed. They need to put a bigger focus on helping bring awareness to global issues such as climate change, ending poverty, and breaking down the barriers of the out-of-touch, very arrogant celebrities who regurgitate political or popular opinions of the day, i.e., it'd be nice to see actors stop acting like actors. We want to see real people. We want to see actors as real individuals and not just as a character. I want to see what actors really care about. It's a good way to bring awareness to charitable organisations and a very good way to help others. They have the power and the notoriety to do it. They can do a hell of a lot more than what politicians can. They're so corrupt and so obsessed with themselves and getting re-elected. They can't really enact any change, but Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt can have a hell of a lot of change just by making a statement on television or through social media. A lot of actors are always talking about climate change or, we need to end poverty, but how many are actually doing anything about it? A lot of them talk a good game, but when it comes down to it, they miss the mark. So I think there's a lot of perception out there that actors just don't give a shit, or they're very fake. Like, this actor pretends to care about this issue, or he cares about these things because they don't want to come off as if they don't care, because that might hurt the public image and that might not get them a job later on down the track. Or at least that's what the public sees or doesn't see. And this is also probably feeds into the rumours about movie stars and about the Academy and Hollywood in general. Another thing I'd love to see is the breaking down the divide of Hollywood and the public. It'd be nice if they included the general and global public in the Oscars more and not just make it, oh, well, we're giving you this glamorous night where you get to see all these movie stars and stuff, because the general public, the Oscars doesn't affect them one way or the other. It's all about Hollywood. And yet all the advertisement dollars that get pumped into the Oscars, all those key time slots, it's all about viewership. The same way, with the Super Bowl, it's all about the ads. Oscars is the same thing. They can make millions of dollars out of advertisement revenue and the glitz and the glamour of it and selling it to networks and TV rights and all that other shit. So if you wanted more people to tune in, maybe including those people you want to tune in might be the best way to do that. You've alienated your core group of fans, but yet you want a diverse crowd that doesn't really seem to care about the glitz and the glamour anymore. Another good way to cut down on running time would be to cut out a lot of the over-the-top bullshit in the speeches. If you remember Viola Davis's cringeworthy speech from a couple of years ago where she was thanking God and praising the entertainment industry, that it's the only industry that they get to live a worthy and full life. I mean, what about those surgeons and doctors that are saving lives every day? Police, firefighters, people in the army, the Navy. What about those people? They're not living a full life? Just because they don't want to become an actor like you and say someone else's lines doesn't mean it's not an unworthy pursuit. The Academy should also ban the use of the word God in the acceptance speech. I think that is completely over the top and fucking arrogant. I mean, stop being so arrogant thinking that God only gives a shit about you or you, the people in that room. That's the thing that really pisses me off in sport as well, was when athletes thank God for putting them there or for scoring a touchdown or winning a game. God's got nothing to do with it. There's a reason you're getting paid millions of dollars to do what you do, because not everybody can do it. Obviously, talent has a lot to do with it, but you've been given an incredible opportunity, and I don't think God is favouring you over the other 7 billion people on the planet. I think it's the height of fucking arrogance. Given all the suffering and injustice in the world at the moment, why would he give a shit solely about these sports or entertainment industries above anyone else? What about all those refugees in Ukraine? But I know the rich entitled elitists of Hollywood are more important than everyone else in the world. Because when you thank God in those speeches, it's kind of by the same reasoning. You're kind of saying God only cares about those who are rich and famous. Fuck anyone else. If you're poor, well, you got no hope. Another way the Oscars and the Academy could improve the viewership would be to make it more public and clear just how the Academy works and who's in it and how the voting process works. The Oscars do change categories pretty often. It's a field where the changing nature of technology means you're going to have to add new fields eventually. Old ones change and become redundant, and a new digital one will replace it. Visual effects editing, all that kind of stuff didn't really exist 50, 60 years ago, but now it's a huge part of the movie making process. There are very few films made that don't have some element of visual effects in them. But I think the Academy is pretty set in their ways. They seem to be very set in their ways on other things like voting members and the member selection. I mean, that has been the real issue for the last couple of years, is they just change certain things, but they don't change anything that has any meaning. Like that article said, like they don't change, you won't notice the changes, so what's the point in changing anything at all? And just from a curiosity standpoint, I would like to see how the Academy works, how the voting selection works, how the votes are tallied, how do they determine what film or what actor is worthy of an award? Is there a certain criteria or a checklist that they got to go through before they can get nominated? Like, does an actor have to cry on command? Do they have to lose weight, put on weight? Do they have to change the way they talk? Because there's very many different styles of acting. It would be curious just to see how they go about picking the best actor, because a lot of the winners in previous years have undergone some type of physical or mental transformation to play a character. Like Joaquin Phoenix did the physical transformation and the mental for the Joker. Christian Bale, I mean, he's a method actor. I mean, he's lost weight, put on weight, lost it again, put it on, lost it, changed the way he walked and talked to play a character. I guess what I'm trying to say is that do you have to suffer for the character or the role to be nominated? So how do they pick a good director? What are the criteria for that? That one's interesting to me. I've always been interested in directing. That's kind of the whole backbone of the filmmaking process, obviously. So what makes a good director? Is it just the ability to tell a good story, or do you have to have creative camera angles and dramatic shots? And that brings up the other question, is a director too artistic and not story focused enough? Are they too story focused and not character driven enough? Is there not enough